So we're profoundly committed to looking at the mechanisms for developing domestic capital markets and institutions that are based on domestic capital, both mobilized in terms of savings deposits, but also equity. Get local entrepreneurs investing in these kinds of organizations. There's sort of an interesting role here that has come up in recent times around the debate about compartamos. It's sort of I'm not going to get into the compartamos thing. It just has come up as a result of that. And it's been interesting to see how the community of microfinance, which is quite comfortable with the notion of commercialization and profit, making enough of a return to offer financial services in a sustainable and ever-growing way, are actually somewhat less comfortable with the concept of market making, which is based on perhaps what some would consider to be a more extreme philosophy of economics, right? A more neoliberal sort of approach, which sort of says we're actually in the business of building markets and understanding sort of a whole set of market principles of competition and early entrants making big profits, and then competition heating up because people see the big profits, and then the profits getting driven down, and it all sorts out in the market, and how uncomfortable people have been around the compartamos case and some of the other cases of high returns and high profits and high interest rates. It's been quite revelatory about the state of the industry. So it's really, we just had Dr. Yunus in our offices in the Gates Foundation a couple of weeks ago, who was talking very much about sort of social enterprise and this sort of profitable but not really profitable space. And it seems like our community is squarely there. And I think there's a lot of interesting debate and dialogue to have around whether that's the right space to be, or whether one needs to be more squarely in a market making space for all sorts of the clients who are out there. Not necessarily the lowest end, I don't know. But certainly if you talk about 2 or 3 billion people that don't have access to financial services, certainly there must be a couple billion of them that you could reach fairly with market-driven services on neoclassical principles. But I don't know. There's certainly a debate out there to be had, it seems like. And that's part of the debate that needs to be had if you're going to get domestic capital in any significant way into our business. So just kind of wrap it up. Our sort of, one more. Public policy. We're very cognizant of the fact that there's not a single thing we're putting out on the table that doesn't go through policymakers. You can't dramatically increase access to savings accounts without starting at the central bank and starting at the kinds of institutions that are in the hands of the governments. Those are the sorts of institutions that control financial infrastructure. They control the largest banking institutions in countries. They control the rules and regulations that make it prohibitively expensive sometimes to capture low balance deposit accounts. They're the ones that have their hands on transactions and payment systems. At the end of the day, policy lies at the very heart of anything we'd like to achieve in terms of increased financial access. And it's kind of hard to imagine any project that doesn't have a policy dimension that would be funding going forward. Same thing